Warriors, rise. Guess what, Warriors? I found my old tinfoil hat. Remember when all the people were calling me tinfoil hat guy with this on 2 years ago, and all these things have come true? As everybody looked this way, I've been sharing it with there's a whole nother narrative going on this way. My name is Coach JV. I am the top health, mindset, and crypto coach in the world. What you believe in your heart, you think in your mind, will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it right here in your hands. What you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. If you want to get in the conversation, if you're new to crypto or confused and so much information out there, click the link of this description of this video, get in the free conversation in our Discord, or jump right into the Warrior Academy. Access to our revolutionary exit strategy, my crypto portfolio, and hundreds of education courses to help you get on track. So let's jump right into it, Warriors. You are not going to believe this, or maybe you will if you've been in the crypto space for just a little bit. Okay, so first we're going to talk about some things that's happening right now in the ecosystem. Crypto adoption is rapidly growing. I say that in two ways, I guess. It's rapidly growing on the backside, right? So they're building the infrastructure. All these companies are getting on board. Banks are getting on board. Hedge funds are moving into Bitcoin and Ethereum. But the general public does not understand what's happening yet. They're slowly and methodically being moved into cryptocurrency. And I'm going to show you something today that really signals to you that you need to put on your long-term fundamental hat. Stop this get rich quick thing. Whereas it doesn't matter if it goes parabolic this summer. It doesn't matter if there's a bull run. Stay in long term. The fact is, the longer you stay in the market, the more money you're going to make. Warren Buffett is not jumping in and out of cryptocurrencies. He's not jumping in and out of stocks, He is staying in long-term fundamentals. So get the long-term fundamental hat on, okay? So this was back in 2021. It says the 2021 Global Crypto Adoption Index worldwide adoption jumps over 880% with P2P, platform to platform, driving cryptocurrency usage in emerging markets. Manifestation alarm. What are the steps to 1 million month income? What are the steps to 1 million month income? What are the steps to 1 million month income? Hold it for 17 seconds. I'll do it after this, but manifestation is very, very important, Warriors. I'm a manifestation machine. I talk about it in the Warrior Academy. All right, so let's jump into the news that you will not believe. Now, this is something that's pretty easy to believe, but I'm going to show you, again, the deep, deep-rooted connections, okay? It's all interconnected, Warriors. Nexo. Now, here's the thing I want to show you something. I'm going to do this live with you guys because it clicked when I was in the Steam room. The Steam room, we have great conversations in there about crypto, and it clicked. Warriors, what did Nexo just do? Nexo, for American clients, stopped DeFi. You can't do DeFi loans anymore if you're an American client. Then all of a sudden, let's look up that news, okay? Nexo stops DeFi. We're going to do this together. Nexo stops DeFi for, I think it's DeFi. So we're going to do this research. It just clicked when I was in the Steam room this morning. Renders payments, interest on new deposits. Where's it at here? Nexo experienced liquid. I know the news came out. Cryptocurrency has stopped paying interest. Okay, so here it is. So Nexo reveals big savings news for U.S. customers according to the company BlockFi. So they changed things quite a bit. Where was it at here? Stop paying interest. So they stopped their DeFi platform, stopped interest on new deposits. So this is interesting, okay? So you can go look up all this news. So Nexo changed their DeFi platform for American clients, right? But then all of a sudden, whereas this is all by design, MasterCard and Nexo link up for the world's first crypto-backed payment card. So they stop you from doing DeFi interest, but they're going to put you back into the old system through MasterCard with a crypto-backed card. Whereas they are all, I don't trust any of these people. I don't trust anybody except what they're doing is to benefit themselves. And if we can pick the winners and losers and get on the same side, or understand, not on the same side as them, but understand where they're taking us, we get to benefit by building legacy wealth for our family. Okay. So think about that. So all of a sudden Nexo makes an announcement around February, March, that you can, they're stopping their DeFi type earnings and all that stuff and DeFi loans. But then they launch a MasterCard backed by crypto on April 30th, 2020, pulls you back into the old rails and old system of MasterCard. Think about it. Visa is going to do it. So MasterCard files more than dozen metaverse and crypto trademarks. Now, why am I telling you this? Now, the title of this is not a clickbait. You're not going to believe this, Warriors. Check this out. So Nexo detaches you from the DeFi space. Then they add a MasterCard, right, that's backed by crypto. MasterCard files for more than a dozen metaverse and crypto trademarks. But let me make my screen a little bit bigger for you here. I've been talking about this company for a little while. Let's see who the top 2 investors are in MasterCard. Drum roll, please. Vanguard and BlackRock. There they are again. I've been showing you guys this rabbit hole for a while. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, bigger than most. I think they're bigger than all countries' GDPs except 3. So again, here's BlackRock's exposure to cryptocurrency. Nexo and MasterCard link up for crypto-backed card. MasterCard files for more than a dozen metaverse and crypto trademarks. MasterCard is basically owned by BlackRock and Vanguard, the top 2 holders, Vanguard and BlackRock. Again, Bank of America. In the top 3, we got Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett, Vanguard, and number 4 is BlackRock. BlackRock is connected to Ripple distributed ledger technology. We go over to MicroStrategies. MicroStrategies, Michael Saylor is trying to get every CEO into Bitcoin. They are heavily weighted in Bitcoin. They're using Silvergate to do crypto-backed loans. Think about that and look again. We got Vanguard and BlackRock. Exposure to crypto, exposure to distributed ledger technology, exposure to MasterCard and changing the banking system as we know it. And now they're starting to talk about the narrative is changing as they're all flooding into Bitcoin. Bitcoin on NASDAQ, Bitcoin is the safe asset with consumer price index at 8.5%. This is all by design. All by design. They printed money into an oblivion. They packed their bags in distributed ledger technology. They got their money into Bitcoin and Ethereum. They got it all stacked up. They're invested in altcoins as well. They're going to raise inflation, okay? Continue to raise inflation. They're going to raise rates, and who makes more money when inflation goes up in rates? Well, especially rates. Banks make more money. They're going to get all the rich clients into cryptocurrency. And then what they're going to do is they're going to flood all the liquidity into crypto, and they're going to catch us on the back end, and they're going to move the casino over to the digital currency space, which is going to create the liquidity, and they're going to change your whole banking system as you know it. Again, I'll repeat this because I want this on video, is that you will have your cryptocurrency wallet at Bank of America, Wells Fargo. They will custody your crypto, which federally chartered banks and thrifts, Brian Brooks, the head legal counsel of Coinbase, left to become the head of the OCC in 2020 for a short stint, and allowed federally chartered thrifts, banks, basically to custody your cryptocurrency. They just have to go through the process. They can custody your cryptocurrency. And eventually you're going to have a digital coin, which is going to be the central bank digital currency that's going to be connected to the BAG, the SDR, right? The BIS, Bank of International Settlements. And you're going to have UBI, Universal Basic Income. You're going to be in a rental-based society. Warriors, they're going to make it too expensive for you to get a mortgage. Those of you who are not homeowners, you're not going to be able to afford a mortgage. And those who own the land, those who own the assets, just like back in 1929 when they crushed the system, they're doing it all over again right now. Assets, assets, assets. That's why you need to get your long-term fundamental hat on, and you need to stop getting into pump and dumps, and you need to pay attention and hold long-term. Okay, so we're going to listen to this gentleman. I think it's Andrew Yang, I think it is. Let me see right here. Let's make sure we get his name correct. We got, I got it right, Andrew Yang. So I just like his perspective and what he says about cryptocurrency. And they're talking about UBI and crypto. So check this out.
On people's conception of what these tools can do.
A lot of people are blaming stimulus for the inflation that we're seeing today. And I wonder what your thoughts are on the whole stimulus check experiment, whether it has at all altered your view of, you've advocated for sending people money. Does that change now?
Sure thing. So if you look at the sources of inflation, first, the inflation that had existed before this past year was in education and healthcare and housing, in these staples, and that was obviously independent of anything in terms of stimulus checks. The stimulus checks comprised maybe 17% of the money that was issued with the CARES Act, where did the other 83% of the money go? It went to institutions, it went to pipes. So there are a number of factors.
So that's super important. Where did 83% of the wealth go? To institutions. Then most of them are zombie companies. Think about this. How many CEOs are selling their stocks right now? How many CEOs quit their jobs in the past 2 years? Pay attention, warriors.
That are driving prices higher. Money in people's hands for a couple of months last year, in my mind, was a very, very minor factor in that. Most of that money has long since been spent. And yet you see inflation continue to rise. Why? Because there aren't enough goods to go around, and people right now are experiencing a lot of pent-up demand.
So this is the first time that we've really seen Bitcoin in an inflationary context, starting from the beginning of the pandemic. What does this change for your thinking about Bitcoin? A lot of people see it as like this hedge against inflation. Is that narrative accurate?
Oh, well, everyone is concerned about inflation. I'm concerned about the fact that it's making a lot of Americans' lives miserable, because it's a very difficult circumstance when your expenses are climbing and maybe your income isn't keeping pace. So Bitcoin has historically been thought of as a hedge against inflation, as a digital gold, if you will. And I think that the interest level is going to rise as people do seek alternatives in terms of how to store value, because people know if you just have a bank account full of money, unfortunately, that's losing value right now unless you're getting paid above the rate of inflation, which is, what, 7% nowadays, something like that. And the last I checked, savings accounts were still only paying, 1 or 2% max.
Okay, so I just wanted you to hear that part, right? About the stimulus, right? 83% went out to institutions. All the stimulus that was put into the people's hands, right? They burned it up. They burned up all that stimulus already. They burned that up, warriors. So think about that. It's because of financial education. It's because we're indoctrinated into a system, so we don't know how to create and we don't know how to problem solve. So when we're given money for free, we go out and buy car. We went to Las Vegas during the pandemic. It was packed. Miami was packed when I went down there. Our economy is collapsing. Where is all this money coming from? Think about that. What people should have been doing with their stimulus checks is putting it into assets, because that's what the hedge funds were doing. Excuse me, not the hedge funds. That's what large companies were doing, or people that were getting this free money. They were putting it into assets, warriors. So they knew that the public was going to go put it into the stores and buy TVs and all that stuff. But the reason why they did that wasn't to help the people. They didn't print the money to help the people. They printed the money so that they could get the money in their hands as well. And they took that and put that into assets. And that's why you're seeing a Bitcoin narrative now. Now, here's what I believe is going to happen. Bitcoin is they're going to flood everybody. They're going to flood the hedge funds, all that stuff into Bitcoin, which is a store of value, right? Then they may pump it. So say it pumps really heavily, maybe coming up here in the near future. That profit is now going to flood into alternative coins where they're going to catch the profits there. So what we're doing is I'm a big altcoin person. I'm not against Bitcoin, but I'm an Ethereum. I'm a big time Ethereum fan. I'm big into the ISO 20022 tokens. That's where I'm weighted. I understand banking, so that's my comfort level, right? So we're big into the metaverse. We're big into gaming. We actually have our own crypto mutual fund. We have all these things. We have a lot of stuff going on in our academy here. But I'm really looking at fundamental real world solve things that I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I look at things, my skill set is scalability. That's why I have 9 companies under management. They bring me on as a strategic advisor. That's why people bring me onto their companies, because me and my CFO, Jeremy Quintanilla, we actually know how to scale companies. We understand that. We've scaled a 7-figure company and we're scaling more 7-figure companies. And so I understand how a company works. I can look at a cryptocurrency and I look at the leadership team. I look at the real world solve. I look at the marketing team. I look at the board of directors. Who are they connected to? Is there truly a utility in the new wave where we're going from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0? Or is this just a flash in the pan where they're trying to make profit and then they're going to dump on us, right? That's really important. So I have 10% of my portfolio weighted for shit coins like Shiba and Doge. To me, those are considered shit coins. I have 10% of my portfolio weighted in that. But anytime those investments go up, I always pull my initial investment. Okay. So I'm house money. Then when it goes up, I hold a moon bag. When it goes up, I pull profits and I put it into Ethereum. Pretty simple strategy, nothing complex, but I really need you guys to put on your long-term portfolio hat. Think of, your grandkids. Think of your future wealth. Don't think about getting rich quick and buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris and the houses right now. Think of assets. So I'm going to be going into the real estate. I'm getting into it. I need to due to taxes this year. My accountant's like, hey, maybe get some real estate under your belt. So I don't know much about it, but I'm getting into it. Single family homes, and I'm just gonna get into it. I'm just gonna do it, and I activated, and I'm already in the process. So now I have the crypto. We have business. Insurance is a big part of my portfolio. Precious metals, okay, still in the LBO process. I haven't got one under my belt yet. And then I'm going to be getting into real estate. So real estate is more going to be for tax benefits for me due to my tax bill this year. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but I still could do better with tax liability. So I'm just taking you guys on the journey. Went from being on my parents' couch, my mom's couch, 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I think that was, and to financial freedom. And I just started following what the billionaires are doing. I had to ask myself, why did I keep losing my money? I knew how to make money, but I kept losing it because I had a impoverished mindset. So if you don't change your mind, you don't get your mind right, you'll never take flight. It doesn't matter how much money you make in the market, you will always regurgitate the same habits. So if you make $1 million in crypto and you haven't changed your habits or your mindset, you will guaranteed be broke again, 100%. So in our Warrior Academy, we have a 120-day challenge to reprogram your subconscious mind. So in the process of becoming a millionaire, who are you becoming? That's the most important part. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Don't forget to check out our 8 o'clock Good Morning Crypto show. That is my crypto team. I have 13 team members and we have 27 volunteers worldwide. You can still get tickets to the in-person academy next week, which is in Phoenix, Arizona, or you can do it online as well. So check out my Instagram page, links in bio. Appreciate you. I love you. As we always say, Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go. Sinful Hats back.